Okay, so in today's video, what I just wanted to talk about was when is the right time. I'm looking also behind at my laptop, so if you see me peering over, that's what it is. So, when is the right time to ask someone for their Instagram and how to make friends quicker? So, with these, again, I'm just trying to talk about stuff as I've learned that lesson in real life. So, with these mainly, it's been like over the past few months, and I've tried to collate as many things as I can on this topic and yeah, put them in this video. So, starting off, just getting into it. As a blanket rule, if I'm gonna I'm trying to be friends with someone. This isn't for like other stuff other than just a platonic friendship as well. So just take that as note. Take that of note that this is just for like platonic friendships is what I'm making this video for. Okay, so as a blanket rule, I would wait at least 2 to 3 times once you've met someone before asking them for their Instagram or any form of social media. Now, for me, I think this is a good time frame, especially because, the first time that you meet someone, you're really just like getting to know them and you haven't really established any rapport with them so far. Unless you've like spent, maybe like 2 or 3 hours talking to them that first time, then like sure, I guess. But like if it's really only been a quick thing, such as maybe like an hour or less, really, which is relatively not that long, especially if, that hour's been in a group setting or something and it hasn't just been a one-on-one chat or anything like that. I would refrain from it just because it's almost making you seem a bit desperate, like you're trying to almost just connect with this person and attach yourself onto them. That's what I've seen a lot, and again, I've been on both sides of the coin. I've been that person that has, tried to connect with someone and asked them for their social media the first time I met them. And then I've also been that person who's, waited 2 or 3 times or even a bit longer than that after meeting someone. And then also, again, I've been asked for like my social media the first time I met someone or after the first 2 to 3 times or, even after that. So, like, yeah, I've been on all sides of the coin, probably as the same as every one of you watching, without a doubt, as my computer screen just goes dim. But anyway, so yeah, the reason for that is, yeah, you want to avoid that kind of desperateness because when you're trying to make a friend, you want them to, think the world of you at the end of the day. That's how the friendships mostly gonna kind of work out the best a lot of the time. And that may sound, a bit kind of toxic and almost just like, you're trying to provide or portray an inauthentic view of yourself. And that's fair enough to think, it definitely is. But realistically, like you're allowed to put your best foot forward if and almost just not come off as that desperate person like you would if you did kind of ask to have them on Instagram or other social media that first time you met them. So that's something big that I've found. And yeah, after 2 to 3 times, I find that's a good time frame because again, you've met them now, multiple times, and hopefully you've established some rapport at this point. And so, they should want to add you as much as you want to add them. And so taking that first step forward at this point now can really show that, hey, you're going to probably be meeting each other multiple times in the future. Because again, if it's the first time, it might just be a one-off thing. You may never see each other again, compared to if it's the second or the third time. Like, hey, you've seen each other multiple times now. So there's a chance certainly that you may in the future. So wanting to instill, a good relationship with each other is certainly going to be a good thing. So that's why I would do that. And then, to be honest, like waiting even later to the 4th, 5th, 10th time, whoever knows how long down the line, isn't even too bad an option either. Like at the end of the day, what is a follower on Instagram? It doesn't really mean anything, So even if you waited longer and just you're seeing this person regularly in real life, I think that's a better way of going about it rather than stressing off like, oh, like I want to make sure I keep in contact with this person, so I've got to get their Instagram or something. Because it's like realistically, like how many friends have you actually kept in contact with that you've met once, and now you have their Instagram? For me, like pretty much none, to be honest, I can remember. Like no one that I've just met once and then I got their Instagram and then I've kept in contact with them just through Instagram or whatever. Like if I've got their Instagram on the first time and then I met them multiple times after that, then sure, yeah, I've got friends like that. But no one that I've just never seen again after that first time. you know? So I think just really note that and like think about that for yourself. Like some people may certainly have been in that situation where you've met someone on a once-off, you've really gotten to like them, you ask them for their social media, you would have never seen each other otherwise after that, but because you do have their social media now, then you can keep in contact. So fair enough to you, and all the power to you if you want to do that. But again, in my opinion, most of the time it really just doesn't work out as well as you may think, and it just ends up being kind of another follower in the bank, which is just like, well, what is this really for? At the end of the day. So maybe try to just consider that perspective, and think about that a bit deeper. But again, like you could also posit that 1 out of 10 people that you do ask for their Instagram on the first time that you meet them, maybe you will keep in contact with, and the other 9 you won't. But at the end of the day, that's still another friend that you've got. So if you want to think along those lines, fair enough as well, definitely. I just think personally, it comes off a bit desperate. And it's almost kind of awkward, especially, there are people who are maybe a bit more shy and they don't want to, just give out their social media to anyone. So especially once you've established some rapport with them after those first 2 to 3 times, that would be a good time with those people. And there's probably more of those people out there than you think. Like for me personally, I don't really allow people on my Instagram that I don't know. Like I've got decent bank of people that have requested me that I've never met or anything. And I'm happy to accept people once I've met them in real life. Pretty much anyone. But I'm not going to accept random people on there. And I mean, I would accept someone that I've met for the first time, sure. But just, I would probably prefer it if, I did know them a bit better, rather than it just being like a once-off thing. And then we've gone down that way. But anyway, to each their own, like I said. Okay, so the next part of this that I wanted to go for was, when's the right time to ask someone for their Instagram? That's another thing. I don't think you should ask for their Instagram. Look, especially if you're trying to go cross-gender, so from a guy to a girl or a girl to a guy, even if it's just a platonic friendship that you're going for, and again, that's what I'm speaking about really for this video, it almost just comes off a little bit, sleazy, just in the modern day context, and that's not really to anyone's fault individually, that's just kind of the way the world's gotten, with the public media and everything, all these, pickup artists that you can see on YouTube or whatever. So that's no one's fault, really. That's just kind of the way things are. And so I personally wouldn't really go and request someone on Instagram the first time. Once you've already got them on other social medias, then you see them on Instagram, whatever, fine, do that. But, the first time, I would certainly think something better, like a Facebook, is, a lot more chill. I've got people on my Facebook who I don't know at all, just because it's just not as personal, and Facebook's just kind of something that you use to really connect with people a lot more. You're in a lot of groups on there and stuff of maybe different clubs you're in, whatever it may be, different shared interests and everything. So I think Facebook's certainly a better app for that, and it just doesn't really have that kind of sleazy aspect to it that Instagram does. So if you are going to ask someone for any social media, I think Instagram. And a lot of people do use, Facebook Messenger. So you can certainly, if you want to keep in contact with them that way, I think that's an excellent way. So I think, Facebook Messenger is certainly an excellent way. And you can definitely go down that route if you want to. And you shouldn't feel like you have to go down the Instagram way. Because again, especially sending a DM on Instagram, especially if you're going cross-gender, from a guy to a girl or a girl to a guy, it can come off, with that kind of are they trying to ask me out here or something, So, and if that's not the vibe you're going for, if it is, then by all means go for it. But again, that's not the purpose of this video. So and if you're not trying to go for that, then again, it can come across a little bit awkward. So I think in that way, I think Messenger on Facebook, and so Facebook in general, asking for that is a lot better. Okay. Now, the next one kind of links in with that first point I had with waiting for at least 2 to 3 times, but try to let them to request you. Again, it kind of comes off a bit desperate, just when anyone does it. Whenever you ask someone for something, just as a blanket rule, it comes off as desperate, even if it's just by the smallest amount, So if you can remove that from you having to do that, you pretty much instantly gain, some higher kind of status in their eyes. So if you make them, not make them, but if they like you so much to the point where they're asking you or they're requesting you on social media, then that's a really good thing. And you've pretty much almost instantly, like, you can see, like, they want to, like, be closer to you, connect with you more and everything. So, yeah, if you're doing that, then you know you're on the right track. And, yeah, whatever you're doing is working in social situations quite clearly. And for me, I think, yeah, that's certainly been a big thing. Like, for me on Facebook, I think I've got, like, 140 friends maybe on Facebook, something like that. Genuinely, I only got it, like, 3 years ago for uni because, like, we had, like, group assignments and stuff. And so, like, you, like, had to have, like, Facebook for that. But before then, before, like, 2022, so it's 2024 now, obviously. Before 2022, I legit did not have Facebook. And I reckon in 2022, by the end of 2023, so by the end of last year, I reckon I had maybe, like, 30 friends on Facebook. I've probably gotten, like, over another 100 since then, just because I feel like my social skills have improved so much. And yeah, it's just been like a spiral of good things, basically. And again, I put in a lot of work for that, read a lot of books, tried to watch, other people's content on that stuff, and just put myself out there, a lot more as well. And that's honestly probably the biggest part of it. So yeah, and I just tried to be a lot more welcoming to everyone. So yeah, that's a really big part of it. And yeah, if you can try to get people requesting you on there, on social media, then yeah, I think you're in a really good position. Okay, so now going on to the other part of this video, which was meant to be about how to make friends quicker. So again, this is probably just talking about what I just was a little bit, links in with that. But, when you want to come off a bit better and you want to just show like, hey, like, you've got good social skills, you're someone that people want to be around and everything. I think a really good way to do that is just like whenever you see someone, even if you don't just stop and have a chat with them, wherever you are, on the street, at school, wherever it may be, at university, just always say hi to people, with a smile on your face, preferentially, but, at least say hi, at least give a greeting. It just makes such a difference. It really does, like think about like all the people that that say hi to you when they walk past you, like, you don't even have to say anything, like they'll just say hi to you. Like, you probably have a good perception of those people. So why not be that person, So, like, yeah, like all the people that I think of that do that, like I've got like a really good perception of them. Like I think they're genuinely nice, kind, warm people, so like I want to be that person, like I think of myself as a nice person. I want to be a nice person. So it's like, yeah, like why not go and take that first step, take that initiative, be proactive about it. So yeah, if you're someone that's maybe, struggling to think of how you can get closer to people or whatever, take that first step. It's very easy, and it's something that anyone can do at any time. If ever you see someone that say hi to them. And again, if they're not reciprocating, if you realize every time you say hi to them they look down and they clearly don't want to associate with you, whatever, like you can ignore that person then from then on as well. But just to start off with, I think it's a really good thing to do. Like pretty much always, like, yeah. Sometimes, you can nod if you want. I think they're going a little bit further than that. Sometimes I'll like point or like I'll wave, but yeah, that's just kind of what you can do here and there. But yeah, I think saying hi, some form of greeting is good, definitely. Probably a bit more than a nod, but look, depends on the context, obviously, when you're seeing them and everything. Okay, the last thing I wanted to talk about was when you get in a meeting, or not a meeting, but when you get in a conversation with someone, you want to be talking about pretty much what's going on at that moment in time. You don't want to be talking about some random stuff. It kind of just dulls the conversation. Dulls, if I said that word correctly. It dulls the conversation. Anyway, so, for example, again, I posted this on my channel maybe a couple of days ago now, how I was at the ball, actually, for law at my university. Anyway, and so on the table, we were just, and well, throughout the night as a whole, I met quite a few people who I didn't know at all and everything, and everyone was nice and everything, definitely, that I was talking to. And, when talking to new people throughout the night, say I'd meet someone at the first time for like 8 p.m, then I'd see them at 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. Again, number one, I was like obviously trying to say hi to people as much as I can because that builds that rapport. And that goes back to the meetings that I was talking about as well at the start. If you can see someone at 8 p.m, have like a 5-minute conversation with them, then see them at 10 p.m, that's already like 2 meetings down. That's just the way kind of psychology works. Seeing someone multiple times, greeting someone multiple times, that's actually a really good thing for like trying to build rapport, because it shows like, yeah, just connection over time. So that's a really good thing to try to do. And yeah, going back to what I was talking about, so trying to stay in the moment and talk about stuff that's going on right now. So say, I'm going around, or we were at the ball, and I saw someone, well, I got introduced to someone, and I was talking to them for the first time, someone that I never met before. I could be like, oh, what are you majoring in? Or how did you find the assignment last week or something? But that's boring, don't be boring. Like, seriously, because that's what everyone else does. So if you can just, be a little bit different and stand out a bit more, like, that'll be so good for you. It really will be. And it's pretty easy to do as well. Again, like I said, the premise of this is you really just want to stay in the moment and talk about what's happening right now. So with that, what I would say is, say at the ball, if I saw someone with their drink or something, I'd be like, oh, what are you drinking? Or, big night tonight or something, just something simple like that. Or, what do you think of the music? Or you want to hit the dance floor? Whatever it may be, whatever it may be. So again, it doesn't have to be anything major, but again, just try to keep it in the moment, because just like subconsciously, everyone does that thing where they're like, oh, like, what's your degree? What course are you doing? Whatever. And it's just kind of boring. You just kind of get to a point where you're like, yeah, sure, like, I talked to this person, but like, they were kind of honestly putting me to sleep. So if you can try to liven it up a bit, then I think that'll do good things for you. I really do. And that's why I've been trying to really instill in myself a lot more. So yeah, if you can try to get some of that down, again, I think it'll only do good things for you. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all I had in this video. So just, recapping everything that I talked about there. So when we're talking about, trying to find out the right time for asking someone for their Instagram or something, and how to make friends quicker in general. 5 things that you want to do. Wait at least 2 to 3 times before meeting someone. Try not to ask for their Instagram. I recommend Facebook. Don't do Snapchat. Yeah, Snapchat's even worse than Instagram. So, especially, again, when it's cross-gender. When it's the same gender, then I guess Instagram will be fine. But I still like a Facebook, to be honest. I think Facebook's good in a lot of situations. And pretty much everyone has Facebook as well. It's not like, pretty much everyone does. Like, pretty much everyone has Instagram and Facebook. So if you're talking to someone and you want their Instagram, high chance they have a Facebook anyway that you can resort to. So that's the second one. Third one, try to let them request you rather than it be the other way around. Fourth thing, try to say hi to someone as many times as you can, throughout a night, whether it be if you're at the same event, or just, at wherever, school, wherever, on the street, wherever, at work, wherever, at uni, wherever. Okay, and the fifth thing, try to talk about stuff that's going on. Stay in the moment. Don't just, wither off talking about what course you're doing at university, or where you work at or something. Everyone talks about where they work enough. Everyone talks about their assignments and stuff enough. You don't need to spend more time on that. You can try to enliven the conversation a bit more. But anyway, those were just those points I had. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. Tell me what you guys think of it if you want. But yeah, regardless, that was pretty much all I had. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.